Good morning and welcome back to the channel. Today we will be exploring the dongs of Seoul. We'll be starting at our home base, which is Myeongdong. We will be doing what I believe is a 20-30 minute walk to Insadong, and then following that up with the adjacent Ikseondong. I'm looking forward to a day where we can get around without the subways or taxis, so we're just going to walk everywhere and see how we go. Join us and come check it out. Let me tell you a little bit more about the dongs. So in Seoul, or in South Korea actually, there are hundreds of dongs. A dong is essentially a neighbourhood. The hierarchy kind of goes country, which is South Korea, city, which would be Seoul, then you've got district, which might be Mapogu or Gangneung-gu, and then a dong being Insadong or Myeongdong. The confusing part though is there are hundreds of the dongs and a lot of them keep the dong on the end of their name, like Insadong does, but there are also ones like soooo or Hyundai that technically are dongs, but in local dialect you drop it for some reason. I don't know, maybe it just sounds better to do that. Anyway, there's a little tidbit of information I learned. Who knew you could know so much about dongs? I always really struggle to say the name of this stream, but it is called Cheonggyecheon. Now, Cheonggyecheon stream has something very interesting about it. Aside from being a very beautiful landmark, it runs through 13 different dongs in Seoul. So if you walk along the stream, whether at road level or down at the actual stream level, you're going to find yourself walking through 13 different neighbourhoods. It's a great way to explore the city, I think, and it's just really beautiful. Because it is winter kind of coming into springtime while we're here, there's a bit of work going on in certain parts, but it's still really beautiful to walk along. You can actually see fish. I'm going to feature it in a few other videos, and it's all lit up at night, which is just gorgeous. One piece of advice I would say for tourists is Seoul has so many ways of getting around. You have the subways, there's buses, there's Ubers and taxis, but walking around you can see a lot. And there's just something magic about walking around and discovering things on the way. You'll find little restaurants that you've never seen before, different landmarks, different stores, and it kind of just embodies you a bit more in the actual experience of a local. I love being able to walk around and see what a city has to offer. Or rather, what a dong has to offer. And with that, we arrive at Insadong. The main street of Insadong is a really popular spot for both locals and tourists. It's quite often a busy thoroughfare. It's really great for shopping, especially if you're wanting to pick up some souvenirs or gifts for people. There's lots of galleries and art vendors, heaps of handmade goods like these little ceramic bowls. There's a lot of jewellery, and also there's quite a lot of clothes, which seemed more, artisan or handmade, not just some big label or something. It's a pedestrian-only area, so you will walk through here fine without cars and stuff getting through. And I believe on the weekends there are actually performances and things like that go on in the area. We were just here on a weekday, and it was quiet, which is really nice. I'm so obsessed with these ginkgo trees. It wasn't the best time of year to see them. Some of them, like this one, looked a bit dead. But if you are in this area in autumn, I think they call it like golden autumn because of how beautiful the trees look. It's likely you might have seen this part here before on Instagram. It's very popular. Again, don't really know how to say it. I think it's Seoul. It's kind of like an open center where it is all the independent stores and artisans, and they often have a little market and bits and pieces in here. And they also had some food stalls, different kinds of cuisines. I think I even saw oden, which was interesting. As you can see, a lot of the shops have Purple Week signs up, and they also have signs welcoming BTS or often congratulating them. Very nice to see. Honestly, it was such a magical time to be in Seoul for the BTS comeback. I think I'm going to do a video just on that in and of itself, in how the community was and how people were reacting all over the city, because it was just breathtaking. It was honestly unlike anything I've ever experienced. Even if you're not here to shop, just walking around this little area is gorgeous, and there's lots of little artworks and installations and murals around to see. This was one of the little artisan stores I went inside. I asked her if I could take photos because these were just so gorgeous. She had little chopstick holders, all handmade, hand-painted ceramic, and also these incredible music boxes. I really wanted to bring one of these home for my mom. It was so stunning. Really the perfect kind of gift to bring back for someone special. And it feels so much better buying something that's handmade by a local. Definitely recommend coming to this section if you're looking for gifts. Directly adjacent from where we were, on the other side of the street, there's a cute little area where you can go and take some photos, and there was another huge market section. I'm not sure if this market is on all the time or if this was, again, just something for Purple Week, but it was very cool. A lot of independent sellers, a lot of jewellery. I took a real affinity to these cute little wish bracelets. I got one for Cobb and I, and it was really nice just walking around, having a look at everything. There are a lot of little alleyways around this area that feature the old Hanok buildings, and as I was walking through one to have a look, I saw these cherry blossoms. It was the first ones I'd seen on the trip, and they were so bright pink, they were like fuchsia. I know a lot of people come to Seoul later than we did just to see the cherry blossoms and the flowers, but honestly, when it's just coming out of winter, you're still gonna see all these beautiful blooms. There's less crowds, the temperature's nicer. I really think it was the perfect time to come. This section of Insadong was filled with the old Hanok traditional Korean houses that had been converted into restaurants or galleries. This one was a restaurant actually, and they were just obsessed with BTS. They had murals and menu items and everything. It's so crazy. There was also a couple of shops selling hanbok, and we spotted a lot of kitties.
Hello.
Hello, Jordan. Hello. Hello.
We found a very unassuming restaurant that was just through a random door and down some stairs because it was advertising pancakes, shallot pancakes in particular, which we had been dying to try. So we found ourselves wandering down this little staircase to this restaurant, which I can't for the life of me remember what it was called. But it was phenomenal. You know you have to have breakfast, brunch, beers when you're on holidays. There ain't no other way. I loved this eggplant banchan, and the shallot pancake absolutely slapped. It was so good. The dipping sauce, I couldn't even tell you what it was. I wish I could replicate it. And something simple like the cabbage salad, it's far more delicious than it has any business being. I was already obsessed with Korean food before we come on this trip, but there has not been a single thing I've eaten in the now 5 days we've been here that hasn't been a 10 out of 10. Even something simple like a pancake, it just absolutely fucks. I don't know why everything is so good. I never thought I would visit a place that I loved the food more than I did in Japan, and Seoul has just absolutely won me over. Every meal, every treat, every little tiny dish of banchan, I am here for it. And I'm also here for all the kitties,
Hello.
because I'm missing mine.
Hello.
After lunch, we decided we were done with Insadong for now, and we would venture on forward to Ikseondong. Dong 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 dong. If you are doing the walk to Ikseondong, you will very likely pass through what is called Pagoda Park. This park is so beautiful to walk around. It's very significant to Korean history. It is universally recognized as Korea's first modern park and was a central hub for demonstrations against Japanese colonial rule. It was the birthplace of the March 1st movement in 1919, and the Korean Declaration of Independence was first publicly read at the park's pagoda. Just a few streets from the park, you will find Ikseondong, which is famous for its maze-like alleyways and converted old Korean houses turned into restaurants, similar to what we saw in Insadong. This area is known as one of Seoul's oldest dongs, one of the oldest dongs around. And you are going to see a lot of selfie girlies around here. A lot of girls that want to see the famous cafes, that want to get a snap of their croissant and have a sip of special tea. I'm not really a coffee shop gal, but I did enjoy walking around the area. After a bit of wandering around, it was quite busy, and I actually preferred the time we spent in the park and in Insadong, so we decided to head back and get some lunch. Early spring was really showing us her beauty. We ended up picking the restaurant near where we saw the beautiful tawny cat earlier on. It was interesting. It was kind of like a Japanese cuisine vibe. We got this sushi that was avocado, but I also got a traditional oxbone soup, and Cobb got a kimchi soup. They also had this pancake, this kind of rolled pancake, which was very delicious and had kimchi and other bits inside. I don't know what it was exactly. One was a green leaf one and the other was kimchi. Yum, dude. We were pretty exhausted after our day out in the dongs, so we headed home to the hotel room to have a little bit of a max and relax, have a couple of sips of soju, and watch our BTS boys on the telly. We were thinking, what can we have for dinner? What haven't we had yet? And I knew it had to be a seafood night. If you have ever been to Myeongdong or seen videos of it at night, you might recall seeing shots of a big clam with sunglasses on in front of a seafood shop, and that is where we chose to go. Holy moly, this place was full of locals. It was full of people drinking soju and terras and really feeling themselves, and I was really feeling myself too. It was a great time. The crab was delicious, the pippies were insane, all of the seafood was 10 out of 10. Queen of the pippies, I love them.
The pippies.
I love these pippies. I ate them all.
Take the new empties plate.
I'm full empties already. And that about wraps up our day in the dongs. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of this video. We have plenty more to come, with one coming out every single week featuring our Seoul series. Have a wonderful week, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe and leave us a comment below letting us know which is your favorite dong. Bye!